Thanks for sitting down with me today. I talk to families every single day, and one of the biggest shocks they face is the sheer cost of a funeral in today's market. It's a topic that nobody really wants to talk about until it's absolutely necessary, but waiting until then is often when the biggest mistakes are made. We aren't just talking about the service. We're talking about the flowers, the transportation, the grave marker, and the administrative fees that seem to come from everywhere. Did you know that as we move through 2026, the average cost of a traditional burial funeral has climbed to around $8,300? If you're looking at cremation, that average is now $6,280. And the reality is, these numbers keep rising year over year, often outpacing general inflation by 2 or 3%. When a family is already going through the most difficult emotional time of their lives, the last thing they need is a $5,000 or $10,000 financial crisis dropped in their lap. That's exactly why we're talking about final expense insurance today. It is a simple, incredibly affordable way to ensure your family can focus on your legacy and their grief, rather than how they're going to pay the bill. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what this is, why it's become more important than ever in 2026, how it works, and the best options available for you right now. It's about being prepared for the inevitable so your loved ones don't have to be. We're going to look at the numbers, the types of policies, and how you can get started for less than you might think. This is about peace of mind for you and a clean slate for them. Now, many people I talk to believe that Social Security will handle these costs. Let's look at the data for 2026. The Social Security Administration provides a one-time special lump sum death payment of exactly $255. That number hasn't changed since it was locked in by law back in 1954. Think about how much the price of a car or a home has gone up since 1954, yet this benefit has remained frozen in time. If a funeral costs $8,000 and the government provides $255, your family is still staring at a $7,645 gap. That is a massive hole in a financial plan. Relying on Social Security for final costs is one of the most common and most dangerous misconceptions seniors have today. It's a tragedy to see a family realize this too late. Final expense insurance is designed to fill that exact gap, providing the thousands of dollars required to settle your final affairs with dignity. It ensures that your family has the actual cash they need when the time comes, without having to wait for government checks that are barely enough to cover the flowers. Think about your kids or your spouse trying to find that $7,000 or $8,000 in a matter of days. That's a lot of pressure during a time of mourning. We want to remove that pressure entirely. It's about making sure the money is there, guaranteed, so the focus stays on your family and your legacy. It's about not letting a financial crisis overshadow your memory. So let's define what we're talking about. Final expense insurance is effectively a small, permanent whole life policy. Now, the word permanent is key here. Unlike term insurance that expires after 10 or 20 years, often right when you need it most, these policies are designed to stay with you for the rest of your life. They are a promise that will be kept. These policies are typically smaller in scale, usually between $5,000 and $50,000, because they are purpose-built for those immediate end-of-life costs. Most families I work with find that a policy between $10,000 and $25,000 provides that perfect sweet spot of coverage. One of the greatest features in 2026 is that many of these plans are guaranteed issue for seniors aged 50 to 85. That means no medical exams, no needles, and no complicated health questions. If you're in that age bracket, you can often qualify regardless of your medical history, whether you've had heart issues, diabetes, or other chronic conditions. This is huge for peace of mind. The mechanics are simple. You lock in a premium that never goes up and a death benefit that never goes down. And because these are specialized policies, they are designed to pay out fast, frequently within 24 to 48 hours of a claim being filed. That immediate liquidity is a lifeline for your loved ones when they need it most. They get the cash they need to handle the immediate business of your estate without waiting for probate or long insurance investigations. It's about speed and simplicity when life is anything but simple. I often get asked, why not just buy a pre-need plan directly from a funeral home? It's a fair question, and for some it works. But in 2026, we're seeing why final expense is often the superior choice. Unlike a pre-need plan that locks you into one specific funeral home and often specific services that can't be changed, final expense pays cash directly to your chosen beneficiaries. This gives them the ultimate flexibility. If they need to move the service to a different city because the family has relocated, or if they decide on a different type of memorial that better reflects your personality, the money follows them. They aren't tied to a contract made years or decades ago with a business that might not even be under the same ownership today. We've seen many cases where funeral homes close or are bought out, and those old contracts become difficult to navigate. It's also often much more affordable than the plans sold by funeral homes because you aren't paying for the overhead of the facility or the salesperson's commission at the parlor. You're buying pure insurance. This flexibility is a gift to your family. It allows them to honor your wishes in the way that makes the most sense for them at that moment without being restricted by red tape. It's about giving them control when they feel the most out of control. We want them to have options, not limitations. It's about empowering your loved ones to do what's right for them at that time. While we call it funeral insurance, the reality is that these funds can be used for anything your family needs. When your beneficiaries receive that check, it covers the burial or cremation, of course, but it also covers those lingering medical bills, the co-pays, the deductibles, and the hospice costs that often pile up at the end of life. Think about the other expenses, the travel costs for family members coming in from out of state, the hotel rooms, the food for the reception after the service, or even just the final month of utilities and rent for your home. The goal is simple, making sure your family doesn't have to dip into their own savings, or worse, take out high-interest loans or drain their own retirement accounts to settle your estate. It provides a clean, tax-free cash injection right when it's needed most. In 2026, with the cost of living where it is, having that dedicated final bucket of money is just smart planning. It takes the guesswork and the financial friction out of an already overwhelming situation. It's a way to close your chapter with grace and without debt. It's about ensuring your final legacy isn't a bill. Let's talk about the cost, because this is where people are most surprised. For seniors in that 50 to 85 age range, these policies are remarkably accessible. Monthly premiums usually range from $30 to $100 depending on your exact age and the amount of coverage you choose. For many of my clients, it literally costs less than $1 a day. Think about that. For less than the price of a soda, you are removing a $10,000 or $20,000 burden from your children's shoulders. We're also seeing more immediate coverage plans in 2026. In the past, you might have faced a mandatory 2-year waiting period before the full benefit would pay out. Today, if you qualify, we can often secure policies where you are covered for the full amount from day one. There are also graded plans for those with more serious health issues, where the benefit increases over the first few years. My job is to help you navigate those options to find the most immediate protection for the lowest possible cost. But here's the most important part, the cost of waiting. Every year you wait, your premium goes up because you are a year older. Lock in your rate today while you're at your youngest and healthiest point. It's about knowing the protection is active the moment the first premium is paid. No more wondering if your family is safe. You'll know they are from day one. It's a proactive choice that pays dividends and peace of mind. In 2026, final expense isn't just about after you pass away. Many modern policies include living benefit riders. This means if you are diagnosed with a terminal or critical illness, you may be able to access a portion of your death benefit while you are still alive to help pay for medical treatments or quality of life improvements. Imagine being diagnosed with a major health crisis and being able to pull $10,000 or $15,000 from your policy to pay for a specialized nurse, experimental treatments, or even to make your home more accessible during a difficult illness. That is the kind of protection that changes lives and provides comfort when you need it most. We also look at things like accidental death riders that can double the payout if your passing is due to an accident. It's about building layers of security around your family so they are never caught off guard. It's a comprehensive approach to final planning that covers you in life and beyond. We want you to have access to your own money when you need it the most, providing comfort and care for both you and your loved ones. It's not just a death benefit, it's a living safety net. It's about having resources when life takes an unexpected turn. I want to answer the top questions I get every week. Question 1, can I get this if I have serious health issues? Yes, with guaranteed issue plans, your health isn't a factor. These plans were made for people who might have been turned down elsewhere. Question 2, will my rates go up? No, your premium is locked in for life the moment you sign. Even if your health declines or you get older, your cost never changes. Question 3, can my family use the money for medical bills? Absolutely. The check goes directly to your beneficiary and they use it for whatever is most urgent, funerals, debts, or travel. Question 4, how long does the approval take? In 2026, many of these digital applications are approved in as little as 15 minutes. Question 5, what is the maximum age to apply? Most plans go up to age 85, so it's almost never too late to start this important piece of your financial legacy. This provides the ultimate safety net, ensuring that no matter the circumstances, the financial resources are there to handle the business of life when you are no longer here to do it. We make sure the process is simple, respectful, and fast. It's about getting the answers you need and the protection you deserve without the hassle. To really understand why this matters, I want to share a story about a client I worked with recently. She was in her late 70s, living on a fixed income, and was deeply worried about being a burden to her kids. We sat down and found a $12,000 policy that fit perfectly into her budget. It was about $45 a month. When she passed away last year, her children were obviously heartbroken, but they weren't panicked. They didn't have to start a GoFundMe or ask relatives for help. Because that $12,000 check arrived within 2 days, they handled the cremation, held a beautiful memorial service, settled her final utility bills, and even had a little bit of money left over to donate to her favorite charity in her name. They told me later that it was the most thoughtful, guilt-free gift she could have ever given them. It allowed them to remember her with love, not with the stress of a debt. It transformed a potential disaster into a moment of peaceful legacy. That is the power of final expense insurance. It's a final act of love and protection. It's the foundation of a responsible legacy. It provides real, tangible peace of mind for less than the cost of a few cups of coffee a month. If you've been thinking about this, or if you just want to know exactly what a policy would cost for you, let's find out. I've opened up my calendar for free 15-minute discovery calls where we can discuss your concerns and schedule a deeper dive on a Zoom call. We'll look at your situation, find the best 2026 rates, and get you a personalized quote with no obligation and no pressure. It's just you and me talking about what's best for your family. You'll find the link to book that call in the description below. If this guide helped you today, please hit that like button, subscribe for more insurance and legacy planning tips, and share this video with a friend or family member who might be worrying about these costs. Thank you so much for your time today. And remember, protecting your family's future starts with a single step today. Don't wait until tomorrow for something as vital as this. I'll see you in the next video. Protect what matters most.